Hey guys, I'm Patrick. I picked teen shooting violence as my topic for our special investigation project. Um, so, for this presentation, we'll focus on the United States, kids in the United States, high school age, so 13 to 18, also of diverse racial groups, ethnic groups. And this is just because with increasing diversity in the United States and within school systems, I thought it would be unfair to focus on one particular ethnic group because within one single school there can be a lot of diversity. So what is a school shooting? A school shooting is typically defined as any occurrence in which gun violence takes place at an institution in which education takes place. Generally, school shootings involve a firearm being discharged at a school infrastructure and can also refer to these events happening on a school bus or on property surrounding the school while school is in session. School shootings are a topic of debate, especially in recent years, and it also sparks a lot of interest on topics like violence and gun control. So how bad is it? According to reputable sources, less than 1% of student homicides and suicides take place at school, on the bus, to or from school, or at a school-sponsored event. So during the 2009-2010 school year, the odds of a student being a victim of a school-related shooting was one person in 2.5 million. So to put that in perspective, the chances of being in a motor vehicle accident were 1 in 16,000. So a lot better chance of getting in a car accident than to be a victim of a shooting at a school. And they usually involve one offender and one victim. So uh, usually only two individuals involved. Um, so in roughly 80% of school-associated firearm-related homicides and suicides, the weapons were obtained from the home or from a friend or relative. So in 2011, about 5% of high school students carried a gun on school property, and around 7% were threatened or injured by a weapon on school property. According to the CDC, which was as of 2012, looking at all of the U.S. and also the District of Columbia, Wyoming had the highest percentage of homes with guns in them, which was 63%. Wyoming also had the highest suicide rate, which was 23 in every 100,000 people. And along with that, has the highest percentage of students carrying guns to school, which was 11%. That being said, Massachusetts has among the lowest rates of guns in schools, which they only had 2.5%. Also, from 1991 to 1999, the prevalence of having carried a gun or weapon on school property decreased from 26% to 17%, but has not significantly changed since then. So we're going to talk about a little bit about the risk factors now. So there's a lot of risk factors that can lead to school shootings and gun violence. We use the social ecological model. We can categorize them in order to allow us to better understand the differences and the different factors that contribute to violence and school shootings. So first we have interpersonal. Here you'll see some of the things you can see are aggressive personality, antisocial personality, also a history of violent behavior. In the interpersonal category or level, we have consistent disciplinary practices, low parental involvement, and poor monitoring or supervision. So from the organizational level, we can see things involved, like the individual may be involved in gangs or other negative social groups within the community, low commitment to school, also a lack of involvement in conventional activities. And then from the community level, we can see things like low economic opportunities, low levels of community participation, and also socially disorganized neighborhoods. And the last level was the policy level. And in this area, we can see, issues like little gun control laws or policies in the area, in the community, or in the state. Also, lax requirements for obtaining firearms, and also little education enforced in the area about gun violence and safety. So, how to make a plan for prevention. So addressing these issues can be extremely difficult at times. However, there are changes we can make within the levels of the social ecological model, that and steps we can take that to prevent gun violence in schools. So again, starting with the interpersonal level, we can ensure that there's school-based programs and help develop social and emotional skill sets for developing positive relationships. We can also, put in after-school tutoring programs, which increases school performance and also intellect of the individuals. Another thing we can do is we can have classroom-taught coping skills and also education of early signs of depression. From the interpersonal level, there should be emphasis on education and family support, so we can, these types of things promote positive child development. We can also offer a mentoring program, perhaps after school, that pairs youth with caring adults. So an example of this is Big Brothers Big Sisters, which I was a part of when I was in high school. And basically, you get assigned a child and you just hang out with them and be a role model. Another thing is peer programs that teach youth how to promote positive norms in their circle of friends. So from the organizational level, we need to see things like residents making physical improvements to the neighborhoods. Also perhaps neighborhood watch groups formed in the areas, especially in areas where they're needed. Also, community communicates with the mayor or higher authorities to provide feedback for new or needed changes within the community. Okay, so from the community level, things we can improve on are the city developing safe recreational areas for residents, so that they don't need to worry about the increased levels of violence. Also, city establishing a movement to increase employment opportunities, so that the issues with socioeconomic status of individuals, increasing those statuses. Also, creating and implementing, and also monitoring and intervention to stop and prevent bullying. Bullying is a form of violence, and it can lead into gun violence. And then lastly, from the policy standpoint level of the social ecological model, things we can do with policies is strengthen background check system for gun sales. Maybe it's not as easy for people to get a hold of guns. Also, ensure proper gun regulations within schools. Most schools have a no-gun policy, but how strict is that? Is it the same across the board? Also, gun detectors installed in schools. There is such thing as gun detectors, metal detectors, installed around the doors. It's a possibility for schools who have a history of violence or are in bad areas to put those in. Also, giving law enforcement additional tools to prevent gun crime. So one of the things is ensuring enough officers are out there, and also that they have enough money to do the things that they need to do to investigate and prevent gun crime. So, gun violence in schools can be a sensitive topic to many, and sparks a lot of debate around the country. In light of the fact that violence in general can be a precursor to gun violence, I just wanted to conclude this presentation with a short video on school violence. So I hope you take away something valuable from this presentation, and thanks for watching.